Welcome back to another episode of Darker Things. I'm your host, Doug Duncan, returning with my son and producer, Trace Duncan, to present to you more of Richard Ramirez's chilling dark tale.
Today, we're diving into the grim tale of Richard Ramirez, better known as the Night Stalker. Picture this, February 29th, 1960, a leap year baby, Ramirez kicks off his journey in a toxic environment that's like a breeding ground for his future horrors. Growing up in El Paso, Texas, Ramirez didn't exactly have a sunny childhood. Abuse was his daily bread, painting a bleak picture for his formative years. But wait, it gets darker. Enter his cousin Miguel, a decorated war vet with a knack for sharing gruesome tales and chilling photos of his victims from Vietnam.
These twisted sessions became young Ramirez's crash course in horror, warping his mind before it had a chance to fully form. And just when you think it couldn't get any creepier, Ramirez starts dabbling in Satanism during his teen years. Yep, you heard that right. Mix in his traumatic upbringing with a growing fascination for the occult, and you've got yourself a recipe for disaster. By the ripe old age of 10, Ramirez was already toking on joints and getting cozy with LSD, courtesy of his not-so-stellar acquaintances. And that was just the beginning. His drug use spiraled out of control faster than you can say bad trip, with LSD becoming his ticket to a reality where violence reigned supreme. Petty crimes were just the appetizer before Ramirez graduated to grand theft, auto, burglaries, and assaults. Each crime fed his growing hunger for destruction, turning him into a walking nightmare.
But here's the kicker, it wasn't just the drugs. Ramirez's heart had already been hardened by a childhood straight out of a horror movie. The drugs, they were just the catalyst speeding up his descent into the abyss. With a mind twisted by drugs and a soul tainted by his past, Ramirez was a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. And explode he did. April 1984 marked the beginning of his reign of terror with the chilling murder of 9-year-old May Luring in San Francisco. But here's the real gut punch. May's case remained cold for years until DNA finally nailed Ramirez for the crime.
Her death wasn't just a tragedy. It was a harbinger of the horrors yet to come. Ramirez wasn't just troubled. He was downright monstrous. May's murder was just the opening act of a nightmare that would grip California for over a year. So buckle up, folks, because we're just scratching the surface of the twisted psyche of Richard Ramirez. His story is a chilling reminder of how darkness can consume even the most seemingly ordinary of souls. Stay tuned for more spine-chilling tales from the depths of human depravity.
And just when you thought the nightmare couldn't get any darker, let me take you to June 28, 1984. Picture this, the quiet neighborhood of Glassell Park, Los Angeles, shattered by a monstrous act. It was the night when 79-year-old Jenny Vinca's life was brutally snuffed out, marking the dawn of Richard Ramirez's reign of terror. Found in her apartment, Jenny's murder was no ordinary crime. It was a scene straight out of a horror flick, sending shockwaves through the community. The brutality of it all left an indelible scar on the minds of those who stumbled upon the gruesome aftermath. But here's the kicker, this was just the beginning. Ramirez wasn't satisfied with one victim. Oh no, he had bigger plans. Over the next year, he unleashed a reign of terror across Los Angeles, leaving a trail of blood and fear in his wake.
Home invasions, murders, sexual assaults, you name it, Ramirez did it. And his victims? They were chosen at random, adding a chilling layer of unpredictability to his crimes. No one was safe. Not in their homes, not on their streets. Ramirez's methods were as twisted as his mind. Armed with a gun or a knife, he'd strike under the cover of night, preying on unsuspecting souls as they slept. The brutality of his attacks was beyond comprehension, leaving law enforcement baffled and the public paralyzed with fear. But here's where it gets interesting. Despite his cunning, Ramirez made mistakes. Small slip-ups that would eventually lead to his downfall. It was a race against time for the detectives, with every passing day bringing the threat of another victim. But justice, as they say, has a way of catching up. In the summer of '85, the relentless pursuit paid off. Thanks to a recovered fingerprint, the Night Stalker was unmasked Richard Ramirez.
As the city breathed a collective sigh of relief, one brave soul stepped up. Jose Ponce, a local resident, recognized Ramirez from the infamous mugshot and didn't hesitate to confront him. With a baseball bat in hand, he held Ramirez at bay until the cavalry arrived. The capture of Ramirez was a victory for the community, a testament to their resilience in the face of darkness. But the scars left by the Night Stalker ran deep. His legacy of terror would forever haunt the streets of Los Angeles, a grim reminder of the evil that once walked among us. And so, as the curtain falls on the twisted saga of Richard Ramirez, we're left with a chilling aftermath. The trial, it was nothing short of a media circus. Every twist, every turn, plastered across headlines, dissected on TV screens. Late 80s, the nation was gripped. Folks couldn't look away.
Ramirez, oh man, he was a spectacle himself. Unpredictable as ever in court outbursts, chilling smiles, making the headlines his playground. The public, well, they couldn't get enough of him. The Night Stalker, they called him, a figure shrouded in horror and intrigue. Media played its part, painting him as a monster, a victim, a little bit of both. Controversy swirled, questions of reporting versus sensationalism. But amid the chaos, the trial, it laid bare the gruesome reality. 13 counts of murder, countless other charges, no denying the lives he'd torn apart. The verdict? Death. Ramirez met it with a chilling defiance. Big deal, death always went with the territory. I'll see you in Disneyland. Creepy, right? But even as the media frenzy raged on, his trial served a grim purpose. It reminded us of the horrors he unleashed, the lives he stole.
But here's the thing, Ramirez may be gone, but his legacy lingers. Films, documentaries, forever imprinting his face on our minds. Yet, amid the fascination, we can't forget. Early intervention, folks, it's key. Marginalized kids, abused kids, let's not leave them behind. By giving them the support they need, we might just prevent another Night Stalker from emerging. Ramirez's story, it's not just about evil, it's about the systems that breed it.
So, as we close this chapter, let's remember, let's learn, let's do better. Because in the end, it's not just about Ramirez. It's about all the lost souls who never got their chance at redemption. If you found this video intriguing and have not already done so, we invite you to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our journeys into the dark.
And here we are at 218 subscribers. Thank you to each and every one of you who have shared this journey with us. We would love to hear from all of you in the comments below. Please consider giving us a like and sharing this video with a friend. Maybe let us know what we should do for a special when we hit 300 subscribers. Until next time, I am Trace reminding you that sometimes truth is stranger than fiction.
And I am Doug Duncan reminding you that once you enter the dark, you may never be the same.